Today's story begins at Glyph's Point, the GekLord starship-based inventory system. This is also the main power generator for this system. However, there are surely plenty more to be built. This power generator / storage starship storage system is also a ginormous 10 storage container sized vault full entirely of Now, due to this, the day to the GekLord's day begins with combat, fighting tons of sentinels as the GekLord likes to play on the hardest combat settings. As you can see though, due to the vast arsenal the GekLord has surely gathered with his millions and millions that he makes daily, he was able to handle these guys no problem and then go ahead and hide out the rest of the few seconds inside of his wonderful starship-based storage system. Now that the GekLord has escaped the sentinels for now, he will hop into his ship and head to his first farm that's still currently running, being Project At Project while at first he did overshoot the landing a little bit and kind of landed a little bit in the weeds a little bit, it is okay. Surely a short walk to his farm wouldn't kill him. After all, he had already built over 800 plus plant farms, this being the oldest currently running. He would quickly run through and harvest this one, while having portals in the ending point of it and also still portaling you back at the beginning and right next to a landing pad is nowhere near optimal compared to some of his later farms. Which, speaking of later farms, his next destination was going to be Oceanside Greens. The reason why he chose Oceanside Greens next is because he was right next to a portal and he was already sick of the space police messing up his day. So he figured portal travel was just the safest way to do it. While his portal system in this base isn't perfect, as it does occasionally glitch him outside of the farm, he was still able to harvest this farm in what was probably less than an entire minute, even with the major mistakes he made harvesting. The final farm he would be harvesting today would be Soaring Orb Greens. While his freighter is already completely full of he figured an exosuit, a ship, and a freighter bulkhead would have to do for holding the he was harvesting today, as he was looking for as big of a haul of money as he could today. He needed himself some money. He wanted a billion. He wanted to have a billion and look at it, and that is his goal today. While he may not make it quite to a billion yet, we are going to be seeing this GekLord make over 1 billion credits in in one single day. Today is not that day. However, we do still have a ton, and I do mean a ton of to be selling to somebody's today. Now, unfortunately, the system has a major issue, being thieving thieves who don't know how to sell to starship vendors, who have lowered the galactic price for in this galaxy to what last time I checked was only 300,000 credits for 20 buds. So of course the GekLord did what he had to. We was gonna be traveling across the galaxy today. He hopped in his galaxy map and he began warping, looking for another suitable place to be selling his to. As I already told you, his previous 3-star galaxy is now almost valueless when it comes to the worth of surely due to the fact of the number of farms he has there and the fact that people don't know to sell to starship vendors when they are selling their Upon arrival to the trade station, he would land his ship and begin going through his inventories. While sorting everything out, he would also be adding as much as he could from his freighter to his exosuit as well as his starship. While this may have taken him some time, for you it'll only be a few seconds, and that's just how it's gonna be, guys. The next thing you're gonna need to do, and the next thing the GekLord began to do whenever you're wanting to sell yourself some is look for the right buyer, the guy who's paying the price you want. This man wanted to offer me only -2% less. That's a lot better than my home galaxy, am I right? This guy, though, he was willing to pay 1.4% more than the value of normal Nip Nip. I guess he has some sort of condition. He needs a bunch of Nip Nip. So the GekLord would then continue to pull out all of his Nip Nip from his freighter and adding it to his exosuit and starship inventory and selling it all to this same client. Today was going to be over half a billion credits earned, all off of one guy. I'm not sure who this guy is or if we'll ever be seeing him again, but I do know one thing. This man really do love his Nip Nip. So now that we have finally almost cleared out all of the Nip Nip, we are totaling at 558 million credits, and the Nip Nip GekLord is not even close to being done here. He should end up walking away with what is almost 700 million credits in Nip Nip sold today. The Nip Nip GekLord definitely had what he would consider today being a good day, guys. Alrighty, so real quickly, let's get you the total lifetime earnings of the Nip Nip GekLord while he was busy on an expedition for the past couple weeks. He's back now, and he's currently at a lifetime earnings of what is 2 billion credits earned in Nip Nip. I can't wait to see what he does next. And furthermore, I can't wait to see the day that the Nip Nip GekLord is able to make 1 billion credits in a single day from one harvest of all his farms. Tons of farms to go. I'll see you then. Keep it beast mode.